You have never seen the Earth as a ball with your own two eyes, and you never will. The only people who claim that they've seen the Earth as a ball with their own two eyes, those people work for the government. And the government has been proven to lie about space travel, so I don't trust the government when they talk about what's going on in fake outer space. So, when I look for an alternative model to the globe, I come across this controlled rollout of the flat Earth model. Now, I do believe there is some truth in the rollout of the flat Earth model, but there is also a lot of disinformation associated with this particular model. So as you can see in this model with an AE map, an azimuthal equidistant flat Earth map with one singular circling sun, this model right here is easily debunked and has been debunked. But that doesn't mean that the Earth is a globe. So, in my quest to find out what this realm really is, I have done a lot of searching into different models to see what works and what doesn't. And I think I can improve this broken model. I think I can correct this broken model. I can't make it perfect. I don't know if there is such a thing as a perfect working model that anyone can just create on their own, but I can improve this broken model and make it 100 times better than what it currently is. So in this video, I'm going to take a debunked, broken down model, and I'm going to fix it and make it 100 times better than it was before. Are you ready? Let's begin. First things first, the sun does rise and it does set. This is not an argument of perspective. The sun is not just coming at you and going away from you while going around in a circle above Earth. No, we see it, we experience it setting into the horizon. And the next day, we experience the sun rising and/or being created at the horizon. So another way to explain the sun rising is that it is being created at the horizon. It is being materialized at the horizon. And when it sets, it is returning to the horizon. It is dematerializing at the horizon. That is what we see it do. This flat Earth model with a rising and setting sun is based upon the notion that each individual observer will see their own local sunrise and local sunset. In this flat Earth model, we are definitely not looking at stars millions of light years away in an infinite space vacuum. No. And we are not looking at stars tens of thousands of miles away inside of a firmament over the Earth. That's wrong as well. Instead, imagine, if you will, a virtual dome. And in this virtual dome, you are the center of your own universe. And this virtual dome goes with you wherever you go. And this is where you experience and see your stars, your sun, and your moon is inside your virtual dome, or your circle of sight. One of the main reasons why the original flat Earth model, with its one singular circling sun, fails so miserably and is proven wrong so easily is because it uses a mean sun and/or virtual sun, as in a not real sun. So the fact that it uses a virtual sun, it's not going to get the correct sunrise angles or sunset angles.
The apparent motion of the sun is not uniform. For this reason, it would be difficult to construct a clock capable of keeping this irregular time. Therefore, a mean or imaginary sun is used. This mean sun is assumed to have a uniform rate of motion with respect to the Earth. The time measured by the mean or imaginary sun is called mean or civil time, and uses a mean or imaginary sun as its reference point.
So that is why this circling sun over an AE map is proven wrong, is because it doesn't get the proper sunrise and sunset angles correct. If you want to get the proper sunrise and sunset angles correct, you have to use a website like Suncalc, which will show you exactly where the sun is going to rise and where it's going to set. It uses official observable data. If you use official observable data and then you transfer it to an AE map, you end up with a much more correct version of the flat Earth map. Now here's the trippy part. When you model up several different observers over the flat Earth using official observed data, then it's as if each observer sees their own sun. That's how I came to the conclusion that each observer sees their own sun. So in this flat Earth model, we reject a singular circling sun because that represents a mean sun, a virtual sun, a not real sun. Instead, we use the official observable data, the official sunrise and sunset angles to the sun provided to us by Suncalc, and we drag the cursor locally to whatever position we want to check where the sun is going to rise and set. You then convert that data over to the azimuthal equidistant flat Earth map, and now you have locally the correct sunrise and sunset angles. You have proper working sun mechanics that you can verify with your own observations. Now, the same cannot be said for the debunked PSYOP version of the flat Earth, such as David Weiss's tracking app, which features one singular circling sun, the mean sun, the virtual sun, the not real sun. Yeah, his app is instantly debunked by the observable data. Dave has the sun doing circles in the month of December, and he has the sun positioned on the Tropic of Capricorn. Meanwhile, someone south of the Tropic of Capricorn, such as at the tip of South America, Ushuaia, for instance, they're going to be seeing the sun rise from the southeast and set to the southwest during that time of year, which is in the opposite direction shown on Dave's app. If this model was correct, then someone in Ushuaia, Argentina would never ever see the sun rise from the southeast and set to the southwest, but that is precisely what is observed in that location every single year in December. But according to Dave's incorrect debunked app, people in Ushuaia, Argentina would only be able to see a northeast sunrise and a northwest sunset. This has been brought to David Weiss's attention. Dave knows his app is wrong. He doesn't care. He's making a ton of money selling that app, and he has no problem selling disinformation and profiting on it. In fact, that's his job. His job is to lead people down the wrong rabbit hole. Hence his name, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. Oh, and let's not forget, he has recently done appearances on Roseanne Barr's podcast and InfoWars with Alex Jones, and every time he does one of these interviews or appearances, he is always showing off his app, he is always promoting his app, and it's a tracking app capable of data mining its users. I would recommend you do not download that app. I would recommend you delete that app if you have downloaded it, and you might even consider getting rid of your phone. So let's review what we have learned so far. If you use Suncalc.org, you will be using the observed data, and when you use the observed data, you will get correct sunrise and sunset angles. You will also get the correct amount of daylight hours for each observer. So by accepting the fact that the sun does rise and it does set, and by using the official observed data on Suncalc, we have drastically improved this flat Earth model by leaps and bounds. Now all of a sudden, simple sunrise and sunset angles are no longer going to debunk this flat Earth model, because this flat Earth model is now using the correct angles, the correct information. Now here's the million-dollar question. Does this flat Earth model explain a 24-hour sun in Antarctica? Yes, it does. Does this model call for a 24-hour sun in Antarctica? Yes, it does.
And then I'll just show real quick while you're trying to find that. For Suncalc, they do show a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, and I'll show you how they show that on Suncalc. So if I drag it down here to Antarctica, as far as it'll let me go, it won't let me go to the center of Antarctica. But this is about where Jeranism is going to go for the experiment. And if I type in the dates, December 15th, see, it shows that the sun's going to go all the way around 24 hours right here. And so, let me back up. So this is shown by Suncalc that somebody will see a 24-hour sun down here in Antarctica. And so, if we just make our own theoretical model and we take this information and then stick it over the top of the AE map, we'll actually have a much better model. Even though it won't be 100% correct, it'll still be better than an AE map with a single circling sun. So right here, we can say that we can expect a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, and the Earth is flat, and we all see our own sun. And then Will Duffy can shove this up his ass. He won't be able to say, no, you're not allowed to use that. Who's he to tell us we can't use this?
That's right. You heard that correctly. This flat Earth model does call for a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And in this flat Earth model, each observer sees their own sun, so it's not a problem at all. In fact, as you can see, the observer is standing on the flat level Earth. He looks up, he sees the sun do a 360 over his head. Oh my God, Earth is still not a globe. That's right, Earth is still not a globe. that man is still standing on a flat level Earth, so therefore Will Duffy's supposed final experiment is now null and void, because there is indeed a model which calls for a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. This also means that Jeranism is wrong, because he has been repeating over and over and over recently that there is not a single flat Earth model that can explain a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Well, guess what, Jeran? Now there is. So you and Will Duffy need to have a little talk about your supposed final experiment, because guess what? Now it's not just two choices. I have just entered a third choice into the equation. And anyone out there can also make their own model and fix these problems, so we could theoretically have 4, 5, 6, 7 choices. It doesn't have to be two choices. That's the false dichotomy that they set up for us, is that we only have two choices. So the whole reason I'm creating this theoretical model is not because I think I can do the impossible and create a perfect working model. No! I'm only creating this theoretical model to prove Will Duffy and Jeranism wrong. The act of seeing the sun do a 360 above your head does not mean that the oceans are magically curving around a spinning paroid in an infinite space vacuum. Seeing the sun go around in a circle above your head does not magically make the oceans start curving in all directions around a ball. So, this notion of a final experiment deciding whether the Earth is going to be a globe or flat is absolute nonsense. Alright, now let's switch gears and let's take it back to the stars in our own personal virtual dome. Now, a lot of flat earthers think that the stars are in a firmament, which is like a big glass-type dome over the Earth. Now, I don't know for sure whether there is a dome over the Earth or not. This concept has nothing to do with a glass or a crystal or a diamond dome over the top of the Earth. This dome right here is your own personal virtual dome in which you see the stars, in which you see all the luminaries, the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, all of them are contained within your own personal virtual dome. So I don't think that the stars that I'm seeing are across the world in the Earth's firmament. I think that they are closer than that. However, I don't think that they are physical objects. So I don't think that I can get any closer to the stars by going forward or backward or any which way. They're always going to appear to be the same distance from me inside my virtual dome. Now I know some flat earthers are not going to be convinced by what I am showing, and they are going to maintain that they indeed see the stars within the firmament over the Earth. Well, this notion is debunked, and I'm going to let QNFee explain this one because he's modeled it up and explained it just perfectly. Pay attention.
So if stars circling in a dome, the sky seeing stars through daylight because the sun is here. Don't you understand, piece of shit? On this model, on your biblical model, you have to see the star through daylight.
So I used to think it was possible that maybe the stars circled around in the firmament over the Earth, but after QNFee smashed that notion to pieces, I don't think that anymore. So I had to come up with something else. And this works much better. By adopting a personal virtual dome, I no longer have to worry about which way the star trails are gonna spin across the world on the walls of the firmament. Let's face it, flat earthers have always had trouble explaining the southern star trails going the opposite direction on an AE map. Well, that's no longer a problem with your own virtual dome and each observer seeing their own personal stars. An observer north of the equator will see the star trails appear to circle around Polaris in a counterclockwise motion. Now we are on the outside looking inside on this demonstration, so don't anyone get confused about the stars going in a clockwise motion. You have to put yourself in the little man's shoes on the inside. You have to become the little observer in the center of the virtual dome, and if you do that, you will see the stars going around in a counterclockwise motion. Now, if we go to the equator, you will see the stars appear to go over you like this. So this is for an observer at the equator. And of course, this is what the star trails will look like for an observer south of the equator. If you look at the southern star trails, they are going to go in the opposite direction of the trails in the north. And so in this demonstration, you can see the observer is seeing a clockwise star rotation. Now, this solves a huge problem that has plagued the flat Earth for many years. Globers will claim that an observer in South America, Southern Africa, and Australia will all be seeing the southern star trails in the nighttime sky. And they claim this is a debunk of the flat Earth model because it would be impossible for all those stars to be spinning the opposite direction and have three different sets of stars looking in three different directions, all spinning in the opposite direction than the star trails in the north going around Polaris. So many flat earthers have resorted to lying and spinning disinformation to solve this problem, but now it is no longer a problem, and let me demonstrate why. Let's place an observer at the southern tip of South America. Make sure he's in his own personal dome, and look at that. We have the star trails going in the correct direction. Now let's put this observer in South Africa. And guess what? We have the star trails going in the correct direction. Check, check. Now all we need is one more observer in Australia, mate, to throw another shrimp on the barbie because he sees the star trails going in the correct direction now as well. So I believe I have just solved one of the biggest dilemmas in the history of flat Earth. Now you have all of the star trails going in the correct direction for the observer, and the Earth is still flat, not a globe. And just like that, I have improved and corrected many of the issues that have plagued the old, broken down, debunked version of the flat Earth, and now we have a sun that rises and sets just like we see and experience. We have correct sunrise and sunset angles. We have the proper amount of daylight hours, and we have those pesky southern star trails figured out. This video is getting really long, so in the next video, I'll go ahead and solve the problem with one singular circling moon. But for now, let's just be happy with the fact that this flat Earth model cannot be debunked by Will Duffy and his nonsense experiment in Antarctica with shillbag Jaron. If you're still watching at this point and you liked this video and you learned something from it, please show me some love and hit the thumbs up button and share this video on social media. Share this video with a flat earther you know, and I will see you guys in the next video or the next live stream. Peace.